CEO of the Inter-American Dialogue. In the Inter-American Dialogue, we focus on many of the issues that have been covered today: climate, democracy, energy transition, education, all of these issues. And we look at it primarily in the Western Hemisphere. And we also do as far as the North-South, we're focused on the United States policy or lack of policy and attention to the South, in this case, to our hemispheric community. And I think one of the big challenges today with the United States, and I imagine this is true for Europe, is that we're so focused on the conflicts in the other parts of the world that we're not paying the attention that we should to, in the case of the United States, to our neighbors to the South. Instead, what we do is we tend to react. Instead of having a coherent long-term strategy towards the region, we react to issues like migration, the drug trade. And so instead of looking at all the opportunities we have, and there are so many, we focus on these immediate challenges. And I think that really stands in the way of long-term collaboration and cooperation.
Je pense que les pays africains étaient indépendants, ils sont maintenant souverains. Ils ne suivent pas ce que leur demandent les pays occidentaux. On le voit par exemple par rapport à la guerre en Ukraine. Ils ont leur propre position parce qu'ils défendent leurs intérêts et c'est relativement normal. Donc ils ont leur propre perception et celle-ci se fait de plus en plus entendre sur la scène internationale.
It's always a pleasure to be here at Atlantic Dialogues, but having been at every single edition of Atlantic Dialogues, I can say that, with all that is happening in the world at the moment and its effects on the Atlantic world, this kind of conversation is more important than ever. It's become part of the conversation about the global South and the North, the West and the developing world, and this conference has a particular role, I would say, in bringing people together, but also in focusing on some of the key issues at the moment. And so, for me, based in Brussels, it's a tremendous opportunity, and I'm very glad to be here. Actually, the German Marshall Fund of the United States it's a little misleading because we're not German, we're actually American, but the name commemorates a gift from the German government in 1972, many years after the Marshall Plan, to thank the United States for the Marshall Plan assistance after the Second World War. And we're a foundation that's devoted to transatlantic cooperation, both in that traditional sense, but also more and more we're interested in this North-South dimension for the wider Atlantic. So it's great to have been part of this exercise really from its beginning. Well, Morocco has, I think, an extremely important and maybe unique place to play in all of this because Morocco has a Mediterranean vocation, an African vocation, but also very importantly, an Atlantic vocation, which is very old. Morocco, of course, is one of the earliest, maybe the earliest diplomatic partner actually of the United States, which many people forget. So I think it's extremely symbolic, but also practically valuable that Morocco was able to promote this wider sense of transatlantic cooperation. I'm very glad to be here.